said new year right around the corner. Here we go, my friends. Pending inventory, well, it's on the rise, and that is good news all the way around.
NAR's Pending Home Sales Index report is a forward-looking source that predicts home sales based on contract signings. The report found that pending home sales jumped 2.2% month over month and 6.9% year over year in November.
And that's good news because us as loan officers and realtors, we can affect buyers and sellers, but we can't affect markets. Great news for the start of the year. More inventory. It means you need a whole new marketing strategy for what is going to be an entirely new market. Like I said, 2024 was its own story. It's got a new beginning and an end. What's yours going to look like? Anyways, moving on. This NAR settlement is its entirely different story, and it's getting fun to watch now that they're starting to look at the money and who's going to pay it. Why? Because nobody wants to pay it, and they're looking for ways out. Here's a great case in point.
2 appeals were filed earlier this week by Hao Z. Wang and Rosalie Doyle, Jessica Winters, and John Guerra. So far, a total of 7 appeals have been filed.
Anyways, 7 appeals were filed. Why were they filed?
Well, due to NAR's compulsory membership requirement to access the MLS, low and no market participating interveners will be forced to pay an inequitable and disproportionate share of the total settlement from which they were not liable. Worse yet, all new and future members will be forced to pay in future years for actions they could not have possibly participated in. Additionally, the interveners claim that the settlement business practice, which requires listing brokers to remove offers of cooperative compensation from the MLS, disadvantages smaller brokerages.
They're calling themselves interveners. I wonder if they're still paying their dues. Anyways, it's all about the Benjamins. Or as Deion Sanders once sang, must be the money. Or, of course, most famously, it makes the world go round. So now that brokers, yes, brokers are being asked to float the bill of this stupid NAR settlement, they're pushing back, and some of you are asking why. My God, of course this was going to happen. The question really is, why not just quit NAR? Further, future NAR members are going to have to pay the cost, says these interveners. Question, why join NAR in the first place? Why at all? Of course, PAR, that's the Phoenix Association of Realtors, just moved to make their multiple listing system available to absolutely everybody, for which NAR kicked them out of the association. Why? Because Phoenix saw this mess coming and wants the benefit of the multiple listing system without the headaches of NAR. So they made a plan and executed it, for which they were executed by NAR. Let's put this plainly. The NAR settlement is beginning to look a lot like one of your transactions with realtors involved, just on a macro scale, just a whole big old mess. Here's my prediction. All these real estate brokerages that mandate you join the NAR are gonna drop their NAR membership quicker than you can say, we're held to a higher standard of ethics, once the NAR settlement cost comes begging for their money. You know, 2024 was like its own story. It's a book. It starts, it has its middle chapters, and it ends. For a lot of us, or a lot of you, it ended kind of on a sour note. 2025 is a new year. We're already seeing more inventory that we're going to talk about in a second. You know, here's the thing, is how's your 2025 story going to begin? They're all going to begin just like a Dickens novel, with the most famous beginning of every story in the history of literature. It was the best of days, it was the worst of days. The great news is, as loan officers and realtors, we get to fill in the rest. So I ask you, what's your story going to read today? Let's spend this year together at the National Real Estate Post and Mortgage Shots. Let's find a way through this to make it the best of days. Now, with that said, I hope this helps. And listen, realtors, it's like a bad relationship. You can just lose the NAR. It's always going to be a mess for you. Hope this helps.